Welcome back to Books and Braids, where I talk about books while I braid this mess. I'm sure y'all are dying to know what book it is, so I shan't keep you waiting any longer. Today's book is Percy Jackson. Now, I don't do popular books. I try not to do popular books too often, but for Percy Jackson, I think I can make an exception. Also, I'm doing 2 Dutch braids. I'm going to start with a character breakdown, starting with Percy, our main character, and honestly, probably one of the most relatable characters there is out there. He's just your typical teenager, thrown into this world of Greek mythology, and he just accepts his fate. He's kind of like the go with the flow kind of guy, and just, takes whatever life throws at him with a positive attitude most of the time. There are a few times where he just snaps, like, especially in the first 2 books, when they're in a moving car, like some sort of car chase, something like that, and he's just like, what's going on? And no one will tell him anything. I feel bad for the poor guy because he just wants to know what's going on, and nobody's telling him anything, and I feel bad for him. I really do. He's always up for a challenge. That's another thing. And he's not afraid to die in the process. Like, he even challenges a god at the end of the first book because he just doesn't like him. So let's give Percy a round of applause for courage, because he definitely deserves. Next up, we have Annabeth, our knife girly, and Percy's constant in his adventures. She's sharp, fiery, and quick-witted, perfect for thinking of a plan right on the spot, and also great under pressure, except when she's holding up the sky. She's definitely not the type that likes to show her weaknesses, sadness, jealousy, or grief. You get the gist. Sometimes she lets her emotions get in the way of her relationships, which is very relatable. But then again, every time she does push away, she's leaving poor Percy in the dark, and he has no idea what he did wrong. It's okay, Percy. You're doing great. That's why Grover's there, my favorite character. He's kind of the glue that holds the entire friend group together. The goat, if you will. Sorry, I had to do that. He's gentle, funny, fearless, and Percy's best friend. He cares for his friends and is willing to take risks for them no matter the danger. And he'll do almost anything as long as he gets snacks afterward. Also, I'd like to take a moment to appreciate the author of Percy Jackson, because Grover is one of the first side characters that I love that doesn't die. Excellent job, Rick Riordan. Next up is Rachel Elizabeth Dare. She also has a similar personality to Annabeth, which is why I think they butt heads so much. This is one of those cases where the same personality leads to making enemies instead of friends. Percy Jackson was on my TBR for the longest time, and then one day my friends gave me a book and they were like, Eliana, you need to read this. So I did, and I don't know why it took me so long, but I actually just finished the last book in December. I started it in July. Now, there are some books where I wish I'd read it when I was younger, and this is not one of those books. I'm glad I read it when I did, because 12-year-old me would have been scared out of their mind. Okay, in the comments, please tell me I'm not the only one who doesn't ship Percy and Annabeth, because even after finishing the series, I still don't think they're good for each other, and here's why. Annabeth has a very strong personality, and so does Percy, so they're not exactly opposites, and I love me a good opposites attract story, but that's just my own personal opinion. I also feel like they would be at each other's throats all the time, and Annabeth would win every fight, and Percy, poor Percy, would end up with a knife somewhere in his body. So I want to protect both of them. They're great friends, but overall I'm just not shipping them together. Although I did kind of ship him and Rachel just a little bit. But at the beginning of the 5th book, and Rachel kissed him, I was like, who gave you permission to kiss him? Technically that's Annabeth's job, but that's just my opinion, but I'd like to make sure that I am not the only one who thinks that. So, and that is my opinion on Percy Jackson. Overall, would I recommend this book? Yes, I would. I think every person needs to read it, and I'm trying to get my sister to read the book. Anyway, oh, and this is how the braids turned out. I think they turned out pretty good. Just gotta fluff them a little bit more. There we go. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and let me know if you want a more like in detail thing with Percy Jackson. And please comment below your favorite book because I would love to read it and do a review on it. So that's all. That's it for me. So thanks y'all for watching. Bye. Mwah!